Now we are going to start our fourth chapter. In this chapter, we are discuss about loop control instruction. What is a loop? For example, we have something like wake up, then we do some task, then sleep. Okay, and this is this cycle goes from here again and again. It means we woke up in the early in the morning, and after that we do some tasks, and at the night we sleep, and then in the next morning we wake up and do some tasks and then sleep. This is the cycle or loop of our life. Loop of life. Okay, and similar kind of thing we have in our programming. We call that loop control statement. For example, here you can see, if we want to repeat some statement over and over, then we can use loop. Obviously, if some calculation required repeating some task, then we can use loop. And we can use loop in every kind of cycle thing. Okay, now we have three types of loop. First is for loop, second is while loop, and third is do while loop. And first we discuss about the syntax and format of these loop, and after that we see how we can use that, and after that we see the difference between these three, why we use for, why we use while, and why we use do while, and in which scenario we can use for loop, which is the best case for do while, which is the case of while. Okay, now this is the syntax of our for loop. First we provide for keyword. This is a reserve keyword. Then just understand this thing. We initialize some variable. For example, here we use int a or int b, something like that. Okay, and after that we provide condition like a is less than 10 and greater than equals to. Okay, and after that we increment, means we increment the value of a. For example, from a is equals to 1 first of all, and when we perform increment, it's 2, and after some condition it is till the less than 10. This is incremented, and this loop doing something. Okay, and similar, if we use here, for example, instead of less than 10 I use greater than 0. Okay, and we initialize from 10, and we decrement. I use a, then 9, 8. First we start from 10 and it goes down and down. Okay, now after this we have to write a program, and this is the question for us to understand in a better way with practical example. We have to write a program to print the value from 0 to 10 using for loop. Okay, now let's do that. Okay, now here first we open our VS Code, and here I declare a variable in a, and after that semicolon, and after that we use for, and here I provide a equals to 1. We have to print the value of a from 0 to 1. That's why we have to first provide here 0, and after that a less than equals to 10, and then we increment a plus plus, and after that we use curly bracket, and here we use print f, and here we provide the value of a equals to, and here we use %d comma a, and here we use semicolon. And now let's first discuss about the flow of this. Here we first declare the variable, and after that here we initialize the value to it, which is the syntax of for loop, and after that we provide the condition. What is the condition? We have to print the value from 0 to 10. That's why it goes from 0 till the 10. Okay, less than means it is not equals to 10, but we provide less than or equals to. If any of the condition is true, then this loop will run, and after that first it initialize, then check the condition, then print the value, and after that it increment the value of a. This is how it works. And after that we create a new terminal, and here we first compile and then we run this code, and you can see the value is printed, but you cannot read this because it printed in the same line. That's why we have to provide forward slash and n. Okay, now I just clear first, and after that I compile this and run this code. Now you can see the value of a is 0, then it incremented, then the value is a is equals to 1, and this goes to till 10. If we provide here less than only, not equal, then you can see this line is not visible. Let's first compile and after that run this code. You can see we don't have the last line which is present here because of equal sign. Okay, so this is how you can use for loop. Okay, now let's discuss about the syntax of while loop. First of all, we have to provide the while keyword here, and after that we provide the condition, and it will execute. If the condition is true, then it will do something or run the block. Okay, this is called else block. Okay, when the condition is true, then it will run the block of while loop. Okay, now here we have a question: write a C program to print the value from 0 to n using while loop where n is provided by the user. Let's do that. Okay, now let's do our question. First of all, we have to declare two variables, int a comma int input. You can choose any variable name. I just choose this. Okay, now after this I provide printf, and here I use please enter a number. Okay, now after this I use forward slash n, and after that semicolon, and here I use scanf, and I provide here %d comma ampersand input. After this semicolon I use a equals to 0 because our a start from 0, that's why we use a equals to 0. Now here I use while, and here I provide a is less than input. Run this code, print f the value of a is equals to %d, and here I provide a. But here you can see in that case our result is not equals to input because we have to print the value from 0 to n or input. That's why we have to provide here equal also. We have to provide equal also, and here you can see we have to provide comma. Okay, now after this we have to provide a plus plus. We have to provide a plus plus and then semicolon, because if it is not incremented, then this condition is always true. 0 is always less than the input until or unless the input is equals to 0. So in that case it is goes to the infinite loop. That's why we have to increment this. I will show you both the case. First we see the output. I create a new terminal, I just compile this code, and after that run this code. Here we have to provide number. I just provide 5, and you can see it will give me the output in single line. We have to provide here /n. Okay, Now here I recompile this code and run this code. Now here I provide 5 again. You can see it will give me in a sophisticated manner. First it provides 0, 1, 2 and 5. Now what it will give me output when I just comment this or I just remove this. Okay, I just remove this from here, and now let's see the output. I just recompile this and after that run this code. Now let's see the output. First I provide equals to 2 and you can see it will give me 0 0 0 0 0 because it will not incremented and the condition is always true. That's why it goes to infinite loop. In that case we have to kill our terminal. So this is the reason why we have to increment in case of this thing, like we are providing while loop and we are using some kind of iteration, means we are repeating for some steps, for example for 10 20. In that case we have to just increment or decrement our variable which we use here. In this case it is a. Okay, so this is how you can use while loop. Okay, now let's understand do while loop, in which we first provide two keywords and after that we provide code here, and here we provide while keyword and after that we provide condition. Now let's understand with the question. Now here we have to write a program to sum the natural number from 1 to n, where n is provided by the user, and we have to apply to while loop. Okay, let's do that. Okay, now here first we have to declare a variable int a comma input then semicolon int sum equals to 0, because we have to sum the natural number. First we declare and initialize a value 0 because we don't want any garbage value, that's why we initialize it with 0. Okay, now after this we use a equals to 1 because our loop start from 1, which is already given in question, and after that we use 2 then curly bracket, and after that okay. Now here one thing I forgot is I just removed this first, and here I use printf. Here I provide please enter a number. Okay, now after this I use /n, and here we provide semicolon, and after that scanf, and here I provide %d comma ampersand, and here I use input. Okay, now after this semicolon, now here I use a equals to 1, and after that I use do, and here I provide sum equals to sum plus a, then semicolon, and after that I use a plus plus, then semicolon, and here I use while a is less than or equals to input. Okay, now after this I use semicolon, or I just leave it as it is because it is not in syntax. Okay, now here what we do, first we declare three variables. First variable a is used for iteration, and second we take input from user, and third is used to add the value in a memory location. Okay, now first we declare a equals to 1 because our loop start from 1 and goes till n. Okay, the input that is entered by the user. Now here what we do, first we use sum equals to sum, which is 0 plus a is 1. Now sum is equals to 1, and after that it increment or it check the condition. Okay, now check condition is true, then it goes. Okay, now here we have to provide a semicolon. Now after this I just run this code with the help of terminal. I just compile this and after that I run this code. Now here I use 3, means 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is 6. Okay, we have to print the value also. Print f and sum is equals to %d. Here I use comma, here I provide sum, and after that, okay, we have to recompile this and after that run this code. I use 3 again and you can see it will give me the correct output. I can rerun this code and here I provide 10 and you can see the answer is 55. You can check by using calculator or you can do yourself also. So this is how you can solve this question by using this do while loop. Now one thing I want to tell you is, now here I provide a equals to 10. Okay, now if I provide input is equals to 5 or less than 10, then this condition is false. Then in that case we have to check the output. I just compile this code and after that I run this code. I just provide 5. You can see it will still give me this value 10. Why? Because we are using do while loop. So you can see the value is printed here 10, which is this value is stored in this variable and our condition is false. Why this happen? Because when we use do while, then it will run at least one if the condition is false also. Okay, this is the main difference between while and do while. While is run when the condition is true. If it is false, then while loop is not run. But if condition is false, do while at least run once. Okay, this is the main difference. Okay, now we are going to discuss about break statement. What if when we want to exit from a loop for a certain condition? If the condition is true, we jump out of the loop. In that case, we use break keyword or you can say break statement. Now let's see how we can use this break statement in our code. Okay, now to understand break keyword, we have to first use a loop. Here I provide for, first we declare int a and after that I use for I equals to 0, I less than 10 and after that I use I plus plus and here I use printf. Okay, now here it is not valid because I use a and here I provide I just remove this a with I. Now it will not give me any error. Print f and here I provide the value of I is equals to, here I use %d because it is of integer type and here I use I and after that here I provide forward slash and then semicolon. Now I want to break after it print the value of I equals to 6. Then I use if I equals to 6 and after that I provide break. Okay, I use break keyword when it I equals to 6, then it jump out of the loop. Let's see how it will look like. Okay, now first I compile this code and after that I run this code. You can see it start from 0, then 1, then 2, and so on. After 6 it break. Okay, now if I want to break first and then if I don't want to print I equals to 6, then here I provide this. Okay, now I just compile this and run this code. Now you can see it end at 5. It will not print I equals to 6 because we first provide the condition and then print. If first it is 0 and check the condition is false, then it print this value of I equals to 0, and it increment and check the condition and increment and print till 5. If it is 6, then it sees this is break, then it comes out of this loop and just print nothing after this. Okay, now if I provide here something like print f, and here I provide thank you. Okay, now just tell me in comment section if it is printed or not. I just compile this and you can check your answer after running this, or you can do it by your own also. You can see thank you is printed because this is used to jump out of the loop only. Okay, don't think that it is exit the code. No, it is not. It is just used to jump out of the loop only. Okay, so this is how you can use break keyword. Okay, now after this break I use another keyword which is continue. Here I provide continue. Okay, now you can see the condition is same. Now here we start from 0 and goes till the 10, and we print the value of I. Now what if I provide if I is equals to 6, and here I provide continue, I just remove this semicolon twice which is repeating. Okay, now here I just compile this and run this code. Now you can see this 6 is missing. You can clearly see 6 is missing. If you want to skip some particular thing in your code, then you can use continue and it will skip the thing. For example, I don't want to print any odd number. Here I provide I percent to equals to 0, and in that case it will skip the value which is even. First we do for even, and after that we do for odd also. Okay, now here I just run this code. First I compile and run this code. You can see it will skip the value which is even. Now let's do that for odd one. Now here I provide not equals to 0. Okay, now let's recompile this code and after that run this code. You can see now it is skipping the odd value. Okay, so this is how you can use break and continue keyword in C. Okay.